Hey there clan, and welcome to another analysis of a Dragon Age Inquisition non-player character. Now, this is, if you saw my previous one in which I did Dorian, then you know who we're doing now. We're doing Morrigan. Now, some people may say I shouldn't be doing this due to the fact that she isn't a party member, but I also have the advisors in here, and in my opinion, Morrigan does become a arcane advisor towards the end of the game, so I'm counting her. Now, this will probably be a fairly short one in all honesty, because I really don't have much to say on Morrigan beyond, well, what is it? Now, I'm going to have to set some things right off the bat. Firstly, I'm only going to be really talking about the Morrigan I experienced in my game. And that's with my experience with my main canon Warden, who was a Dalish elf, who romanced Morrigan and had the child with her, and then went through the Olivia with her at the end of Witch Hunt. So I'm primarily going to be talking about that Morrigan. I have seen the other alternatives of Morrigan, but this is my Morrigan I'm going to be talking about, so yeah, sorry about that, but I just don't think I can talk about the other one because I don't have as much experience with her as that. But I do have very few notes on this, but I do want to talk about her, even if it's only briefly. Now, firstly, I'm going to say this right now. I loved her development, especially if you romanced her and had the godchild and was with her. My warden loved her and stayed with her until he had to go and try and stop the calling. I absolutely love how she changed. I really, really do. She definitely is still the Morrigan that we knew from Dragon Age Origins, at least my Morrigan. But she's changed a lot. You can tell in the way she talks, in the way she presents herself. She's still bit cocky, does still hide her feelings to an extent. She actually does hide her feelings to an extent, even when you mention you want to get in touch with the hero of Ferelden. She says, "Oh man, now he's going to think that I'm missing him," and she's actually missing him. And I really like that. I really, really do. That she's still got that same characteristics that makes Morrigan Morrigan. But also one of the things I absolutely love is her evolution as a mother. Now, let's face it, Morrigan, even though she loved my warden, and if you romanced her, she loved your warden, she only saw the godchild as a way to save her love and also to get a little bit of power. That's the way I've seen it, even though she may have seen it slightly differently if you romanced her. But I love the fact that once she had the child and the child grew up, she raised it with my warden, of course, and she changed, and it is kind of very human. I'd say I'm not a parent. I have no kiddies. But it's definitely very human, the fact that she changed so much, and that she doesn't see her child Kieran as a tool. She sees it as her child, and it's so well done. And I have to give major props to Claudia Black, to the way she says the things. It's just the way you can feel the gravitas in her voice when she shows genuine compassion and love for this thing that, in all sense of purposes, she only really wants to use for power and to restore a little bit of history. But that changed. And in my opinion, that this is emphasized more. The thing that emphasizes this the most, even I could tell right away, even from before we even got to the point where we encountered Flemeth again, that Morrigan had changed on her viewpoint on the old godchild. She doesn't refer to it as the old god baby. She refers to it as Kieran, and she never does refer to it anyway. And she does genuinely care for her child, which is what a mother should do. But as soon as Morrigan is offered the ultimatum to either give up her son and she'll be free of Flemeth for life, or take her son but Flemeth will never let her go and will always be around the corner, she didn't even hesitate for a nanosecond. It was literally, give me my son back. It just shows how much her character has changed and how much she cares for this child. And also, she says it best herself, she is not going to be a mother like her mother. She doesn't want to be Flemeth, and this is emphasized so much with her words and the way she wants to raise Kieran. She wants him to have a normal life. She wants him to be able to be a kid and all that. And I think, in all honesty, once Flemeth actually took the old god soul away from Kieran, I could tell right off the bat that Morrigan was actually pleased with that, because it means her son could possibly have a bit of a normal life. And I think that's absolutely brilliant and beautiful. And it's just so well voice acted by Claudia Black, and also so well written. It's just so... It's really amazing to see the evolution of this character, and to see how she's changed from the Morrigan that we knew in Dragon Age Origins. And as I say, especially if you romance her, which my Warden did in Origins, you can see how the influence of the Warden has changed her in a way, and has also been a good thing for us with the romance. Now, I have seen the ones if you don't romance her, and they are still very well. She has changed a lot. She's still matured a lot. But I think one of the biggest factors that changes Morrigan the most is the fact that she has a child. And it's just absolutely beautiful with how much more mature it's touched upon. I don't really have much else to say beyond the fact that she's still the Morrigan that we love and care about. She's still Morrigan. And I love that. But at the same time, she is different. And it just shows that it can take a big thing like having a child to change a person. And it can change them for the better. And I do think Morrigan is actually a better person due to the fact that she has a child. And as well as my Warden's there for her through thick and thin. My Warden's not a baby daddy. But I absolutely loved that, and I gotta give major props to actually having very much a sense of closure when it comes to Morrigan's character arc, and I think it definitely ended in Dragon Age Inquisition. Even though I would like to see her in other Dragon Age installments, like games, movies, that kind of thing, I also think that her story has come to an end, in my opinion. I honestly would be very happy if her story had the Inquisition, after what happens with Flemeth and all that, her story comes to an end and she just goes back and eventually reunites with my Warden, and they spend the rest of their life together. I'd be very happy with that if her story ended there. I honestly loved seeing Morrigan in Dragon Age Inquisition. I definitely like the fact that she's changed, and it has been that my Warden had a very positive influence on her and is happily in love with her. I absolutely loved it. Very well written, very well voice acted. Claudia Black, as always, does an exceptional job at voicing her, and you can tell she has a ball doing it. So I give major props to Miss Black, and her voice is absolutely fantastic, and I could understand if she wanted to end voice acting Morrigan from now on, but Miss Black, you did an excellent job, and I absolutely loved finally getting a bit of sense of closure with Morrigan. I don't have much else to say on Morrigan because I feel like I've said everything. I just love how she's developed, and just in case you can't see the card, that's the card there. I absolutely love it. It definitely is Morrigan. But don't get me wrong, there's still little bits of the Morrigan that we love in there. She's still a snarky bitch, and I love her for that. But yeah, that's all I've really got to say on Morrigan. As I say, I didn't have much to say on her, but I felt that she is an advisor to the Inquisition, even if she is only briefly. I still can count her as an advisor. As I said, I don't want to talk too much about like what she does with the Empress Celine, because we don't get much insight into that beyond her being the arcana expert for her. But at the same time, it made natural sense for Morrigan to end up there, because she is naturally drawn to a little bit of power and all that. So as I don't want to talk too much about that, because really, as is that we get a little snippets about it here and there, but I think we learn much more after she joins the Inquisition, and we find out about the Warden and all that. I love it. Definitely very, very happy with Morrigan's development, and it's very nice to see how she changed. So I think that's all I've got to say on Morrigan, so hopefully you enjoy this little brief one. But now we're going to find out who we're going to be doing next. So let's shuffle the cards, shall we, and find out who we're going to be discussing next. I'm going to be honest, I kind of want to talk about one of the advisors, but it's not my choice. It's a choice of randomness and chance in the Inquisition. So who are we going to get? Well, we'll be getting Cullen, Josephine, Varric, the Bull. Let's draw a card and find out who we're getting. Well, unfortunately, I just saw on my camera who one of them is, and we ain't getting cold this time. We're getting... oh my. We're getting Warden Blackwall. Or maybe we should call him something else after this. Judgment Time, Blackwall. I'll see you all next time when we dive into the wonderful character of Blackwall. And I'm already apologising in advance to Indy. Ciao for now.